Hey everyone, welcome back to another one of my live mini trainings. Thanks for joining me live or on the replay. So all week I've been digging into what really makes teaching stick, how to go beyond just giving content and start creating unique learning experiences. So this is kind of our wrap up. I've got a few quick, powerful takeaways to tie everything together, plus an invitation to you for if you are ready to dive deeper. For those of you who are new around here, I am 𝗶𝘁 𝗏𝗏. I'm a learning design strategist. I help creative female entrepreneurs take their big ideas and turn them into amazing learning experiences without all of the overwhelm and guesswork, by creating processes and organization that's going to work for them. So here's what we've learned this week about going from just a self-paced course to a true learning experience. People don't remember information. Not by itself anyway. They remember how your teaching made them feel. When your learner feels that you are invested in their progress, they will become more motivated to finish that course, that webinar, that workshop series. And that's going to lead to results for both them and you. And the way you get that to happen is through engagement and interaction. When you show investment by developing means of engagement and you show that investment, you show that you care about your learner by creating those moments of engagement and interaction, by giving them more than just a talking head and some slides. This is why, one of the many reasons why I don't like to call courses passive income, because there is nothing passive about true learning. If you are truly learning something, you are active. Learning is an active, I don't want to use activity, but you are involved. You have to be invested. You can't just sit and passively absorb information and hope that you are going to be able to understand, and then not only understand but also apply that information, right? In order to be able to understand and apply the information through the course, you have to be an active participant, not a passive bystander. So that's why engagement and interaction is so important, because it does those two things. It shows the learner that you, as the course designer, actually care about them getting something out of the course, that it's not just an easy piece of income for you, right? And that's not, yes, we have our businesses, we need to make money, but it's more than that. We started our businesses because we want to help the people that we work with. And by creating those moments of engagement and interaction, it shows the learner that you are invested, that you do care. And not only that, that's going to motivate them. And then by having that engagement and interaction, it's going to facilitate their understanding, which when you reach understanding, you are then able to apply and have that transformation and get those results. And when your learners get results, you get results. And it's this wonderful circle, right? So make it fun, right? It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be hard. It shouldn't be bland. Sure, we're adults, but we still like to be entertained, right? Learning doesn't have to be boring. Like I just said, we don't want to be passive bystanders in learning. Just this morning, I I'll admit I was doom scrolling, but I'm glad I did, because I came across this reel by a social studies teacher who turned a unit on the Civil War into a game of Dungeons and Dragons. He changed the scenario to fit pieces of the Civil War. Each student was given a character, and they were broken up into squads, and they had to play out the events of the Civil War, and that's how they learned. Like, how much fun is that? And how much more are they going to understand about what happened in the Civil War than if he just stood up in front of the class and lectured to them, right? Obviously, we can't always directly apply that, but the idea of gamification as a means of engagement, as a means of interacting and encouraging our learners, that's definitely something we can do. And that reel, at least for me, was a point of inspiration to be more creative with the types of engagement that I create or design. And one thing I want to make very clear is that, I've already said this, but engagement, even at that level, is not fluff. We shouldn't think of gamification or storytelling as extra. It's not. It should be the backbone, the basis of the learning experiences that we are sharing. Because it's going to be more enjoyable for you to create it. And it's going to be more enjoyable for your learners. But there's actual data, there's research that shows that engagement through storytelling, gamification, other means, actually does increase the learner's understanding and the ability to apply that information. All of that said, I am not telling you to go out and completely overhaul your course today. You don't need to do that. Okay, that would be extremely overwhelming, and that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to overwhelm you. My job is to ease that burden, right? So just add a little bit of intention behind it. Pick one piece. Go through your most recent learning experience, whether it was a course or a workshop, challenge, webinar, masterclass. Take a look at it and find one way that you can make a change. Simple change like a reflection prompt, a check-in. If you have a self-paced online course, if you've got automations in place, put an automation in there to send an email to checking in with them. Or if your system has text messaging, send them a text message. Say, hey, you've reached X point in your course. How are things going? Where are you getting stuck? What's a win that you'd like to celebrate? Check in with your learner. Even if it's a self-paced course, you can do that, and it will make a world of difference. And it's not one that you are going to have to spend a lot of time setting up. And once it is set up, it's there. The same with a reflection prompt, or celebrate somebody's insight. If you have a check-in with, an email or even a form, have a feedback form, and they share a win, celebrate that form in your newsletter, in your social media, because they're going to see it and they're going to be like, oh, wow, they read that and it meant something. So think about how you can add those elements to your existing courses. And like I said, if it feels overwhelming, don't worry about adding 10 new things to it. Just pick one and see where it goes, and if that one doesn't work with your audience, try another one. And I want to bring this home with an example from where I've seen this in my own work. So a few weeks ago, I was working in a group strategy session, developing course frameworks, taking them through breaking down their big idea into milestones. So what are the stepping stones that their learners need to pass in order to reach that point B. And there was a collective aha moment on everyone's faces when they realized that by breaking down their topic from A to B and then all those little steps in between, when they realized what it would do for them in terms of designing their learning experience, and also what it would do for their learner in terms of being able to follow along and follow through, it was just like, there was a screen full of like, oh, you know, it clicked with everyone at the same time. But how did that happen? It was life of the dog, right? So how did that happen? It wasn't because I sat there talking at them for an hour. It was because I ran it. I told them, I said, this is going to work like you're back in college in a seminar. I'm going to give you some baseline information, and then we're going to talk about it. Because I enjoy the role of a facilitator rather than a lecturer. So I introduced the information, and then I asked them the questions. I asked them questions to get them to think. And when I did that, because they already came in with their ideas, I was able to ask them questions about their own learning experience that they were creating, right? They were thinking about their own work. So the ideas were no longer abstract. They were real, practical, individualized. And so they were able to apply the information in the moment. I interacted with them. I made them think. I insisted on them being active participants in that strategy session, in that learning experience. So it wasn't just the steps I taught, although those were important. It was the feeling of community, of support, that allowed them to create these amazing learning experiences and then go out and share them. So if you're thinking, sure, that's well and good, that was, relatively face-to-face, but how can I apply that to my pre-recorded webinar or my self-paced course, any of my other own content? That's why I created the Learning Experience Jumpstart. It's 2 private sessions. I give you email support in between. We create clear strategy to develop your specific learning experience that's tailored to you and your audience. So you can book your spot right now. I do have a few spots left in May and 3 in June. So I'm going to pop the link to that in the comments below. So whether you're building a course, running a workshop, a challenge, or you just want your instruction to land more solidly, that this is a good next step. So drop a comment or the word experience in the comments if what I've shared here today and over the course of this week spoke to you. And if you want support with your ideas, into turning your ideas into something more powerful, go ahead and grab one of those spots for the Jumpstart session. I would love to help support you. And in the meantime, happy designing. Bye.